Join the fans of Canada's game across the country and around the world and be a Hockey Canada insider. Receive news and features about Team Canada, events, promotions, and much more. Sign up at hockeycanada.ca/insider.
Chevrolet Silverado factory lifted trucks with the capability of a 2-inch lift, the versatility of the available multi-flex tailgate, and the connection of an available 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Chevrolet Silverado, taking adventure to a whole new level.
Finance a 2023 Silverado ZR2 at 3.49% for up to 72 months. Plus, eligible Costco members get a $750 bonus.
Admit it, you use my Old Spice body wash.
I'm not letting hotel soap near my skin. They get that.
Savannah, if you don't get your moisturized hands off my body wash.
Three quarterfinals down and one to go. Last game of quarterfinal Thursday is Sweden and Latvia as Axels Ozils of the HS Riga Latvian program takes to the crease for the Latvians in this one, and Noah Erliden sees his fourth game of action in the tournament for Sweden. He started things off with the right foot with a 30-save shutout in that big 8-0 win over Canada to start the tournament, as Oleg Sorokins is behind the bench for Latvia, and Anders Eriksson in his 14th season as a head coach for the Swedish national junior team at various levels is behind the bench this afternoon.
One upset in the tournament so far, Victor. The Slovaks upsetting the Finns. Latvia pays attention to that. They know what's going on. They're going to take a run at the powerhouse Sweden.
This Latvia team has pulled off a couple upsets in recent memory against this under-18 Swedish squad. Last year at this tournament, they beat them to open up the group stage, and then they did it again recently in Cornwall at the 2022 World Junior A Challenge, also the opening game of the tournament.
And we know that the memory lines are long with these age groups. They follow each other, they know what's going on, so they'll be fully aware of that history.
That meeting at the World Junior A Challenge in Cornwall, very similar rosters. The Swedes were minus a couple of their top guys, including Axel Sandin Pellikka, as well as Theo Lindstein. They were preparing for the World Juniors for Team Sweden. But they've got all their top players in today, and so do the Latvians as Erik Spataiko brings it out to center. He's brought down by Axel Sandin Pellikka as it comes around the boards. To the line, Otto Stenberg. Back through center.
Sandin Pellikka back in his own zone. He's just had an excellent year. He split it more or less between the Skellefteå Junior 20 team and the big league team in the top Swedish league that just fell short to Växjö in the Swedish league final.
Shot of Sandin Pellikka there on the bench. You mentioned his presence for this blue line. The importance of the anchors back there.
Could potentially be the first defenseman taken off the board in this year's draft. Central Scouting has him 7th among European skaters. Craig Button has him at number 10 on his list.
In a forward-laden group that are tipping the top end of that draft.
Back around it comes here for an icing. Minute 10 into the proceedings.
Good size on this Latvian team as well, too. We saw Erik Spataiko, who's a late birth date, so not eligible for the 2024 draft. The big 6'4" centerman. They got some size up front and on the back side. This scrappy Latvian team.
Saw them bruise the Americans a little bit in the opening game of their group stage. Though they did get into some penalty trouble as a result of it.
We'll to do this face-off again.
Their big win coming against Norway in a 1-0 tilt that propelled them on to this quarterfinal series, and already a victory being in the quarterfinals, Victor, but the chance to play for a medal is something that's within their reach now, and they will start on a power play. They'll slash off this face-off right off the draw. Two center icemen going at it, and
Here's Tom's Motts. Plays it up high. And it's fumbled by Boolens. And now streaking in comes F. Bjorsfall and can't pull the trigger, though. As Forsfall sends it around for Edstrom. David Edstrom in tight. He's lost a glove.
Works it back to the point and backtracking all the way is Arvid Bergstrom.
Boolen's a good job recuperating there, but a little help from the weak side from Kroonen's coming back with the push from the side. Being able to pull that off without a penalty or a penalty shot.
Sent ahead through center. Here comes Marcus Strikis streaking in, and Erlin in the save. Cleared to the line, not out. Ulanskis plays it off on the wing. Shot incoming from Hansons. Took a sharp deflection. Bergstrom's clearing attempt. Stifled. Now Boltramovitz. Strikis to Hansons. Back at the line, Ulanskis. For Hansons. Takes the shot off the glass. And it hits the protective netting out of play.
Opportunity from the blue line. Forced the all off the break here. But I like the pressure coming back from both sides. So no one had to commit a foul. And coming back the other way. A good opportunity off the wall. Strikis on the short side. A left shot coming in on the right wing. Pulls to that forehand. A couple of good setups for the Latvian power play right out of the gate here. I've liked 3 of the things they've tried.
Off the face-off, they set up again. Boolens at the line. Passes off on the wing. Motts slides it down low. Gets it back. Low shot. Stopped by Erlin in the net. Has come ajar. And as Latvia touches, the whistle sounds.
I think there were 2 choices here. The net coming off was one thing, but Big Mataiko was in that blue paint as well. So I think the referee had his option of how to blow the whistle, but another good setup. High to low, and then coming back out the short side. For Latvia, watch the puck go low, and then coming to, it's a hard push. And a nice little extra push there from Erlin, and making sure that net is off. His goalies push across so hard, and the lateral pass, Victor, has really changed the way the goaltender position has to be played. The pass across is virtually a slap shot, and it causes such a hard push, and it's the post they're going to that is the one in danger, not the one they're pushing off, but the one they're going to. And they're taught to hit it with their shoulders so hard to define their positioning that they knock it off pretty easily. And I think the way these nets are anchored will be reviewed moving forward, because the goalies are getting so big and so physical, and that net is coming off too easily.
Now Erlin plays for the HV71 junior program in Jönköping, Sweden, and he's been part of this under-18 team for the Hlinkas. Silver medal there, and then the World Junior A's again in Cornwall, where they won bronze. He was great in both tournaments, and he's been great in this one with a .958 save percentage, including 2 shutouts. The only team to score against Sweden so far in the tournament is Slovakia.
Melker Terin getting that 3rd shutout against Germany. Luxury of having 2 good tenders and 3 shutouts in 4 games.
Swedes have had to reach a little bit into their goaltending pool for this tournament. Some injuries and absences elsewhere. But Erlin's been the constant all year long as the power play is over and this puck is iced.
We've spoken earlier in the tournament about the youth of Latvia, just the opposite for this Swedish squad. A veteran squad of 05 birth dates. And the Simon Zephyr, rather, being an underage.
There is
or a late birthday, if you will.
Not a single 06-born player on this Swedish roster. Turned over, and a backhand shot from March Message is warded away by Erlin.
2 good opportunities, one right off the face-off by Latvia, and then off the steal.
Centering attempt for Zether, and Ozils makes the save. Zether goes down, looks to play the puck.
In there too. Loose puck, far side boards. Theo Lindstein plays it around center. Good pass, still in front. Ozil's the save. Sweden stay with it. Noel Nord back to the line for Wielander. Through traffic. Backhand, the shot scores. Wild sequence in the Latvian zone. Loose puck in front of the net. Noel Nord gets it through for the Swedes, who take an early 1-0 lead in this quarterfinal.
Nidra had come back to help out Ozils and thought he'd stolen one. But Nord able to get a scramble, loosened in tight, all over the place here. A really good right pad save by Ozils. And then watch the stick of number 20. Right on the back side of this Nidras. Looks like he steals one right there. But the puck comes back out and unable to freeze it. As Ozils, a good attempt by the forward Nidras coming back to help out. And then just unable to take it. Too many Trey Kroner jerseys piled into that crease area to handle.
Second of the tournament for Noel Nord, who plays the Brynäs junior team in Sweden. He has played some Swedish League games this year, scored his first SHL goal and his first shot as a pro in the top league.
Might as well get it out of the way.
And all the way down the ice. Out of the net to play to Zerliden. Back through center. It's corralled by Felix Unger-Sorum. Plays it over the line. Shot from Stenberg. Couldn't get it through. Latvia back in transition. Crashing into the corners, Tom's Motts with Axel Landin. And out to center. Unger-Sorum backhands it in. And all the way back down the ice it goes for icing.
Look at Nord in the traffic inside here. Watch him pick it out. He's on the weak side. The first one is a theft by the Latvian forward, and the puck rolls in behind Ozils. Nord's able to locate it and bang it home for his second of the tournament. Always a nice smile after a goal on that bench. Not a smile there. That is a severe frown right across that coaching row.
Simon Zather and Tom Wielander with the assists.
Good pace early in this game.
Sweden with control again. Anton Wahlberg drops it back in from the line. Axel Sandin Pellick is offering toward the net, bounced around. Theo Lindstein in for the point. Wahlberg shot blocked. Woltramovitz turns it around the boards. Sweeping in is Axel Sandin Pellikka. Lays it down low. Centered. Sandin Pellikka back to the corner. Carries it back to the point. Passes across, and Forcefield shot ricochets off a leg. Back to the point. Lindstein will venture back into his own zone.
The mobility of Sandin Pellikka very evident on that rush. Literally all over the offensive zone, and the great skating defensemen all find a way to get up because they're so confident they get back at any time.
Sandin Pellikka made some waves early in the season when Skellefteå ran into some injury trouble on the blue line. He got called up and was immediately playing 16 to 18 minutes a night for one of the best teams in the Swedish league and fit right in.
How to make an impression as a 17-year-old. We've talked about the vertical nature of these development systems, and that's the beauty, being able to be pulled up to the parent club and play and then go back to a level you can dominate at.
Shot from the line, skips wide. Sandin Pellikka is set to return to Skellefteå for next season. Good chance he could make the SHL roster from the start of the year. He might stick there the whole season. By the time they got everyone healthy, there wasn't anywhere to play him by the time it got to the playoffs.
That age, Victor, it's just about playing games. It's a volume of games, and the different levels help you so much. because you're constantly tested by moving up, but not stifled because you can't play at that level and don't get to try things.
Here's Kangas. Turning around to the corner. Petrovitz all over him. And Bruno Petrovitz holds it up along the boards momentarily. Noel Nord picks it free. Shoved down to the ice by Christers Hanssons. Grabaka up the boards to center. And it's tied up with Simon Zetter.
Part of the Rogla Junior program that just won. Petrovitz holds it up along the boards momentarily. Noel Nord picks it free. Shoved down to the ice by Christers Hanssons. Grabaka up the boards to center. And it's tied up with Simon Zetter. Part of the Rogla Junior program that just won the top Junior League National Championship. One of a couple players on that squad that are on this under-18 roster, including one of their top defensemen, Tom Wielander. Sandy Pellico now from the line. Takes the shot, sharp angle, and Ozil spots this one. Hangs onto it with the glove. Noel Nord, the goal for Sweden. And they lead 1-0.
Navage uses powered suction to help flush out allergens, mucus, and germs.
I love this thing.
It's nice to breathe.
It's about more than the goals they score. It's about life skills they learn. It's about friends they make. It's about their love for hockey. None of it would be possible without the assist you can provide. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund is breaking down barriers to get Canadian youth on the ice and in the game. Every child deserves the chance to play. Donate now at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
I didn't use Old Spice. I think I smell.
In honor of Bobby Orr, and then I'm going back and watching video, and Axel Sandin Pellica, nice young defenseman, emulating the great Bobby Orr down the wall, head up the whole time, elite skater, moves the puck very well, commands the puck from a defense position, and once again, so confident in his skating ability. That number 4 brings back great memories of my watching a youthful Bobby Orr.
There's a shot. Ozil's the save. Sandy Pellica, the superstar defenseman, best of all time for young Swedes, is of course Boris Salming. Just recently passed away, but he does share a connection with him. He played for the same junior team as Boris Salming did in Kiruna, which is way up north in Sweden, before he went to Skellefteå, which is also way up north. But Sandy Pellica, originally from Gällivare, that's another 365 kilometers north of Skellefteå.
Nice.
And Kiruna is originally where Boris Salming and his family are from. It's very dark and very cold.
Well, I would battle him on a latitude basis, being a native of Timmins, Ontario.
That's right. You do know a thing or two.
We always tell people Santa Claus used to come up to our place from the North Pole, not down.
They call Gällivare the Timmins of Sweden, don't they?
Exactly. It's the wannabe.
Shot through traffic. Ozils makes the save, and it pops back out. Wahlberg to the line. Another shot loose in front, almost identical to the first goal. This time Forsfjell couldn't squeeze it in. And it's shot down the ice, rolling past Erliden. This will be icing against Latvia.
Another great battle, the same side for Ozils to his right. And that puck was out there, very similar to the first goal. Forsfjell on the side. Oh, he's got the whole open net, and that's a great defensive play. Ojanski's getting back and pushing the stick out of the way, but eerily similar, Victor, to that first goal. Unable to get it across the line that time.
There's Sandy and Pellica. The shot picked up by Ozils. He hangs on. Sweden out in front, 1-0.
At the
the Nissan Institute of Thrilology, we make sure the road gets your motor running. An excellent performance in performance. Technology passes with flying colors.
Earlier shot of Anders Eriksson on the bench. Has to be pretty pleased with the start here. 7 straight shots for his Swedish club. 11-4 overall in the shots and net. But important for Latvia just to hang in early, Victor. They know they're playing a powerhouse. They know they're playing an elite offensive team.
They've outscored their opponents 18-3 so far in this tournament, including an 8-0 win over Canada. So the longer Latvia can hang around, they can plant seeds of negativity in the Swedish mind and maybe get them forcing a little bit and get an opportunity on offense.
Went to center. Brought back in over the line and sailed high of the net by David Edstrom. Stenberg back to the point. Sandy Pelika. Shot doesn't get through. And a penalty here on the play will send Latvia to their second opportunity on the man advantage.
For 1, but some good setups on that first power play, and we see the stick reach out and Ungersorum and pull down the Latvian player, and this is about confidence for Latvia's power play. They had 3 or 4 nice different looks on their first power play, so a chance to refresh, a chance to get back. This is where they created their offense early in the game, and a chance to make this a 1-1 hockey game halfway through the first period.
3 shots on the first power play opportunity for Latvia, though it didn't yield a goal. It's back the other way. Here comes Kangas, the shot, and getting the stick in the way was Eric Spataiko.
Forward getting defensive duty on the power play, and a nice defensive stick by Mataiko. We've talked about his length, 6'4". Also the fact that he's a late birth date, so not even eligible for this year's draft. One of the top Latvian players.
Plays for the St. John Sea Dogs in the QMJHL. His first year with them, came over in the import draft and plays with Krister Janssons. His older brother Ravis played last year with the Sea Dogs, won a Memorial Cup with them at home in St. John. Also a Pittsburgh Penguins draft pick, as
Latvians will set it up in the offensive zone. 5-on-4. Krumins off the boards for Tom's Motts, who had the lone goal in Latvia's big 1-0 win over Norway. Here's a backhand shot from the front of the net. Krumins sends it wide.
Another good opportunity for Latvia. They prefer to run it to the goaltender's left through Stenberg, number 23. That's the preferred option. That one came from the other side of the ice, but started with Stenberg just around the half board, so he appears to be the quarterback that they're opting for.
Carried back in and over to the far side, back across. Another look for Latvia. Shunskis couldn't finish off on the pass from Strikis, and Strikis sends it back around the boards. It's tied up. Strikis, chance to play it. His stick is lifted by Tom Wielander, who backhands it down the rest of the way.
Good defensive play by Wielander. Strikis gets an opportunity with that puck. They're going back to the net. They had a great opportunity in close again and unable to cash. Strikis unable to free his stick up.
Back through center ice. Latvia in transition, and the backhand pass from Idris doesn't get across. Promising looking play, nevertheless, from Latvia. As they're now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. This is dropped back by Wahlberg, and a shot right on target. Ozils makes the save.
Once again, a couple of good setups for Latvia on this power play. This is the side they prefer to operate from, and it comes back in. Stenberg unable to cash the backhand. He pulls it across. What a great opportunity.
Lindstein sends it over for Sandin Pellikka, directed towards the net by Wahlberg. Couldn't get it through. Far side boards turned over. Latvia get it right back. Shot off the end boards by Retenes and out through center ice. Sandin Pellikka, short pass finds the mark. Dover Nilsson looks into the slot where it's intercepted by Christopher Scrummins. Sandin Pellikka takes it back. Passes up in the right wing for Wahlberg. Tied up along the end boards. Crumans looks it up the wing. Some support from Motts. Unger Sorum is there for Sweden. As is David Edstrom. And it comes out to center ice. Domers can't do anything with it. Tom Wielander takes it back. Plays with the Rogler Junior program, as we mentioned, but he's committed to Boston University for the upcoming future. So he'll be making the trip across to join that NCAA program. He's got it now, takes the shot and sails it just wide, blocker side.
Fits in well with a couple of the Hudson brothers that are puck movers there.
Another shot, lots of traffic, rattles off a couple legs and comes out to center. Could potentially be a first-round pick this year, too. Craig Button has him at number 16 on his list. Central Scouting has him at number 12 among European skaters. Back through center ice. Stenberg into the slot. Shot kicked out by Ozils. Off the stick of Arvid Bergstrom. Back to the line, and another shot, this time incoming from Landin. Kicked away. Centered again, and waiting for it was Stenberg. He was tied up. Daryl Zelansky's out to center, ahead of everyone. And Sweden reel it back in. To the line. Brought in to the offensive zone by Gustav Kangas. Strasdans cut off along the boards. Picked up by Boltramovitz. It'll turn back to his own zone.
There's Lopper with a big hit there in the defensive zone.
This is played off the linesman. Brought back in over the line by Sweden. Willie Johansson. Now Victor Skrbaka fires it up to the line and racing after Ravis Strasdans. Strasdans to the point. Skrbaka passes over and a shot trickling toward the net. But Teres Boulans took it, came in from the line, never really got through to Noah Erliden, and just blockered over by Axel Ozils.
Good defensive sticks in front of that net. 3 opportunities to get a whack on that for the Latvian forwards. 3 different defenders with good defensive position.
Banked off the boards. Valters Niedrich and to center. Backtracking with it is Tom Wielander. Wielander snaps it ahead to center. Backhanded in by Stolberg. He'll turn around to change.
Whistles are apparently an option at this point in the game, Victor. We're smoking through the latter portion of this period at a good pace.
Carried in over the line by Domers. Arvid Bergstrom plays it around to the near side. Head to center. Forsfjall gets some help and trying to take the pass to Dover Nilsson. He couldn't. And Axel Landin settles it down in the center ice area.
Jansen's with the defensive stick that time. It appears I'm talking a lot about good defensive sticks because they're there.
Back in front, they score! Off the tip in front, David Edstrom And it's 2-0 for Sweden.
Seemingly innocent play from the blue line. Edstrom sneaks in behind the Latvian defender. All of a sudden play just inside the blue line. Pass across. Dover Nielsen puts it on the tape, and David Edstrom on the backhand side, up and over the glove of Ozils after an excellent period for the Latvian goaltender. Beaten late. See him slide across, and little chance on that. A backhand tip by big David Edstrom.
Part of the Frölunda Junior program. Got into 11 games in the top Swedish league as well with Frölunda. Got a couple of goals against Timrå and Malmo. Has his third of this under-18 World Championship tournament.
Looking at the elite list of players that come out of that Frölunda program just recently. Simon Edvinsson, Lucas Raymond, Rasmus Dahlin. That's a pretty good place to start with those three. Of course, history also could include an Erik Karlsson, a Henrik Lundqvist, his brother Joel just retired, a John Klingberg. Lots of names to choose from with that great program in Göteborg.
And not just Swedes, they've managed to bring in some young international talent. Lars Eller, who's Dane, played as junior with Frölunda before moving on to the National Hockey League. As it goes into the far side corner boards. Of course, it was Lucas Raymond scored a hat-trick, including the overtime winner, that won gold for Sweden on home ice in 2019, their first gold medal in this tournament.
It seemed you didn't say that name without saying Alexander Holtz, who was the Jersey Devil draft pick. Hasn't quite had the impact yet in the NHL, but a talent to come for sure.
From the end boards, comes back to the line, and this shot sails wide as we enter the final minute of play in period number 1. Axel Hurtig. Laid off on the wing. And in over the line. The shot from Otto Stenberg makes its way up and out of play. David Edstrom, your last goal scorer, has it 2-0 for Sweden.
Nasal irrigation works. Navage makes it easy.
You need to clean that stuff out of your nose.
Navage uses powered suction to help flush out allergens, mucus, and germs.
I love this thing.
It's nice to breathe.
Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Hockey fans, get your Hockey Canada gear at shop.hockeycanada.ca. The official online store of Hockey Canada and the largest selection of Hockey Canada gear anywhere. Get jerseys, men's and women's tees, hoodies, headwear, and more. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. Shop.hockeycanada.ca, a Fanatics experience.
Can you have an awesome spring on a budget?
Which spring?
Spring of Storms?
Spring's Awakening? Oh, hey Dave. Junior summer? Second winter?
You forgot real spring. We got you.
Noah Dover Nielsen with that pass, pulls up just inside the blue line, puts it right on the tape of David Edstrom and up and over Ozils for the second Swedish goal. And a quick apology, Victor. I got my 23s mixed up. Obviously 23 for Latvia, Christopher Kermans, that's who they're running the power play through. I, of course, had the goal scorer from Sweden, the captain, Otto Stenberg, and I was calling Kerman Stenberg. So apologies to both families that are listening. We're all squared away. I know you guys are. They're both very good hockey players.
Oh, we'll give you a pass on that one, Paul. You've seen a lot of numbers.
I've seen a
lot of numbers, a lot of names.
A lot of names and numbers of players we haven't seen before. The beauty of watching this U18 tournament is watching the stars of the future. And there's Christopher Kermans. Kermans rather on his way to Vermont.
Currently plays in North America with the Jersey Hitmen, under 18 level.
Play for Todd Woodcroft, the brother of Jay Woodcroft, a little busy right now with his Edmonton Oilers. And off a rare NHL off from Tuesday to Saturday in that series. Building availability with LA with the two NBA teams there, so a long stretch between games, sitting up 3-2 and Sure, Todd will be cheering for his brother and then cheering for Christopher Crumans in his spare time during the day.
Will be an off day in this tournament tomorrow, and we'll be back for the semis, the bronze, and the gold on the weekend. All the coverage on TSN as our first period comes to an end. 2 goals in the frame for Team Sweden as they lead their way through this first period of play against Latvia, looking to clinch a spot, the final spot in the semis. Laura and Dave have the first intermission show coming up shortly.
Internet without trackers, without malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
At Hyundai, this is what leadership looks like. It's the power of choice, the possibilities of imagination, and commitment to driving us all forward. Hyundai is leading the charge towards an electric future, because we're not just making history, we're making WA.
$165, $166, $167. These burgers are exactly the same. But this order costs more. It doesn't make any sense. We must have miscounted. One more time? One more time. One. Two. Really hungry. 3. Keep counting. 5, 6.
You know you can trust Royale bathroom tissue for quality and softness. But you may not know that the Royale brand is part of an organization that plants millions of trees each year in responsibly managed forests. And Royale bathroom tissue products are carbon neutral, with more than 1 billion trees planted since 1957. Caring for the environment isn't some distant dream. With Royale, it's a reality right now. Royale. Trusted quality, carbon neutral.
They're back, the $1.99 Jalapeno Cheesy Bites. Grab your favorite cheesy melty snack with just the right kick, packed with flavor, and only $1.99.
This is a keepsake frame. This is actually a photo from my wedding. I'm Adam Weiss, founder and CEO of Keepsake, the mobile app that makes it easy to have your photos printed, framed, and shipped to your doorstep. You just choose a photo that you love, you can preview it in over 100 frames, and in a couple of days, you're gonna receive your photo in a beautiful, handmade frame. So if you've got a special photo on your phone, install the free Keepsake app. We would love a chance to frame it for you.
There have been Joes, Johns, Jalen's, and more Johns, Patricks and Peytons, Deons and DKs. There have been JJs, TJs, A, B, and CJs. There have been 80 years of drafts.
I'm told the pick is in.
Thousands of names called.
Jerry Rice. Eli Manning. Sauce Gardner.
But there's nothing like hearing yours.
A spectacular moment for this young man.
The NFL Draft on TSN.
MLS on TSN continues this weekend as Sporting KC and CF Montreal face off on Saturday. Our coverage here on TSN kicks off at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. So Sweden, a great opening period in this, our final quarterfinal game of the day, holding on to that 2-0 lead over Latvia. And Dave, I think head coach Anders Eriksson perhaps tuned into TSN, was listening when you were breaking down this matchup in our pregame and said, look, Sweden, yeah, they've been impressive. They've been one of the best teams at this tournament, but 5-on-5 haven't been great, haven't scored a lot of goals, but they gave you 2 there in that opening 20 minutes.
They did, and it was nice to see them do it without Otto Stenberg getting on the score sheet, because he's usually the driving force for the offense so far in the tournament. But you could just see a little bit of a hunger around the front of the net, and this is what I hadn't seen enough from Sweden. It's play within the zone, within the box. You can see 5 Latvian players kind of all circling in the normal team defense. But Sweden jumps on top. They actually outnumber Latvia around the net 3-2 plus the goaltender, and they're able to bang it in. Noel Nord getting his third of the tournament. And then we see this so many times. Axel Hertig with a really nice quick up. Sweden's changing. This is what Sweden's defense is so good at. There's no dusting it off. You catch it, you move it up quickly. Nice job on the boards by Dover Nilsson. And David Edstrom drives to the net. And this is a really nice little redirect on the backhand. But the 5-on-5 play, we talked about at the start of the game, they get 2 5-on-5 goals. This is something that Sweden, this will build confidence as they move along in the tournament. Fully expect Sweden to move on. I'm not saying that they're for sure going to win, but the way they played in that tournament, outshot 20-6. They outshot Latvia 20-6. They need to improve their 5-on-5 play, and that was a good first period.
And the depth when it comes to Sweden, very, very impressive on display again there in that first period. For Latvia, they knew this was going to be an uphill battle. This was a David versus Goliath there. We saw a little bit of that in that first period. Goals have been a major issue for Latvia. Only 5 in this tournament. They've only scored more than once.
In a loss, a 5-2 loss.
That's a lot of English.
To Finland.
It
was. Yeah. You're right.
So they've had their opportunities here, especially in the man advantage.
Well, they did. Out of the 5 goals that they've scored, Laura, 2 of those are power play goals, and they do create on the power play. They just need to take this confidence and turn that into 5-on-5 play, because they don't have the same confidence. They don't get it as aggressive in puck battles. They really did create some really nice chances on their 2 power plays that they had. And if they're just able to convert, if they were able to maybe finish on a second opportunity or get in tight, it might have been a little bit of a different story. But Latvia, as long as they're drawing penalties, they're doing something right. Sweden's going to have to change this. You don't want to be taking penalties. But give Latvia credit. They had the opportunities. Like to see them take that confidence that they show with the extra man into the 5-on-5 play. But Sweden's defense is one of the best in the tournament. And 5-on-5, they're very difficult to get into the zone. Latvia had some nice chances on the power play, but just weren't able to convert.
A little uncharacteristic for Sweden. They were one of the least penalized team in the preliminary round, taking both penalties there in that first period. It has been a busy and eventful quarterfinal Thursday at these U18s. All the highlights when we come back.
How do we demonstrate the precision of Yokohama tires? Before they hit the road, we test them and perfect them. For every curve, every ride, and all your reasons to drive. Yokohama, made precisely for you.
Imagine Dad when he was a kid. He didn't have Sparkly to show him how to brush. He must have had to remember everyone's order in his head. He couldn't even watch golf in the yard. And imagine getting your allowance in coins.
Imagine what it'll be like when yours owes me.
With perfect flavor in every bite of Pringles. It's a taste you can't let go.
You want to taste greatness? Oh, it's gonna be sweet. So when crunch time comes, dig in. No, seriously, dig in. They're sweet, they're crunchy, they're great!
Time has passed me by without you by my side. When I think of all that's gone, you're still the one. Never let it go, 'cause you know for sure. We've been apart, now I need you more. Still those times I thought
Up for Shala, holds and shoots, scores! Edward Shala!
Edward Shala
has all the qualities, all the skills to be a top-line winger in the National Hockey League. He skates well. He got the ability to speed up, quickness, everything that is necessary to take advantage offensively. Great hands. He's got the ability to make plays in tight. He's got the ability to shoot. He's got a mind that processes lightning quick. He understands where all the opportunities are and how to take advantage of them. Don't look at his points this year. That doesn't matter. He was playing in the Czech Extra League, and that is a real challenging league. David Pastrnak ended up being a late first-round draft pick because people penalized him for not having great numbers. No way that Edward Shala should be penalized in the same way, because everything that he does in the game reminds me of Matthew Boldy. And not refined at this point in time, much like Matthew Boldy, but their ability to impact the game in a significant way, that's potential. That's what you're looking for in players. You're not looking for what they did this year. You're looking for what they can do in the future. Edward Shala, a top prospect for the 2023 NHL draft.
As promised, time for some highlights. We're going chronological order here. USA and Czechia kicking off the day. It's a close game in the late goings of the third, but the U.S. would pull away, scoring 2 goals 56 seconds apart. Danny Nelson and Will Vogt doing the honors as the U.S. wins at 4-1 to punch its spot in the semifinals. Finland and Slovakia, this was your upset of the day. Dying seconds of regulation, Slovakia with the 2-goal lead, but Emil Järventie scores with just 10.4 seconds to go. So the Finns on life support, but they make it a 1-goal game. But the bronze medalist from a year ago wouldn't get any closer than that as Slovakia, the stunner, into the semifinals for the 3rd time in the tournament's history and the first time in 20 years. The celebration going on in the dressing room afterwards. How about Canada and Switzerland? This one just went final a little while ago. Canada with the 2-1 lead early in the second. Macklin Celebrini to Matthew Wood. Canada knocked out of the quarterfinals last year by Finland. Hoping history doesn't repeat itself this time around. And 2 minutes later, here they come again. Andrew Crystal, difficult angle, no problem. First of the tournament for Crystal. He had 2 in the game. Canada breaks this one open 4-1 a few minutes after that. Matteo Wagner looking to cut into that lead. Nice move, but Carson Bjarnason up to the challenge. Bjarnason with 21 saves as Canada exercising a little demons there. 7-3 your winners over the host. One other score to tell you about. Norway beating Germany 6-1 in the first game of the relegation round. Well, let's go back to Canada's big win. Macklin Celebrini, player of the game, he had 4 points. And here's what his head coach, Jeff Truitt, had to say about him after the game.
He's an exciting player. He's a dynamic player. He does everything with speed, makes the right reads. He's got a great shot, a tremendous talent. And, he's a driver on that line. And he's got 2 really good line mates that complement him, and he complements the other 2. So it's pretty good chemistry there. I think that we got away with a lot of things here today that's a little uncharacteristic and not what we want when it comes to, our next opponents. When the chips are down here and you're going for a gold medal. I thought that we outskilled the team at times, but I thought that we shot ourselves in the foot here a little bit as well. We know that we can improve on that. We just talked about it, and the guys acknowledged it too. So we know we got to clean some things up, tighten up our D zone. But overall, short-term memory. We win. We gotta move on.
So those 3 semifinal spots have been accounted for. 1 more up for grabs. Sweden off to a good start as the second period is just around the corner.
Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life, posing a real threat to your family's comfort and safety. When the power goes out, you have no lights, no refrigeration, no heating or air conditioning. Your well or sump pump won't work. Your modern daily electronics are rendered useless. Are you prepared? You can be with a Generac home standby generator.
Having the Generac generator, I felt secure that if there was a power outage, I didn't have to worry about it, that there would be heat in the home, there wouldn't be busted pipes.
When an outage occurs, your Generac home standby generator automatically powers up, so your life goes on without disruption. You and your family are comfortable, safe, and secure.
With the Generac, we don't have to worry about whether we lose power or not. It powers our well, our refrigerator, and my CPAP machine, which are all things that we need to survive on a day-to-day basis.
Generac generators run on your home's existing natural gas or propane, and the Wi-Fi enabled Mobile Link remote monitoring system keeps you posted on operating status, maintenance updates, and more. Generac generators are designed, engineered, and built for the purpose of generating power. Generac is the #1 manufacturer of home standby generators in the world. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac, with thousands of satisfied customers.
Generac was the best investment that we could have ever made.
Prices start at just $26.99. Call or go online now to request a free quote with one of Generac's local authorized dealers. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation to buy. Act now and you'll receive a free 7-year warranty with your purchase, a $945 value. Call or go online now, so the next time there's a power outage, your home powers up. Power your life with Generac. Call or go online to request your free quote today to power your life.
Nord and Edstrom, your goal scorers in that opening period. All Sweden with the shots 20-6. Latvia looking to get something going in the second period. So let's get you back to Dave Poulin and Victor Finley.
Thank you, Laura. The shots, as you mentioned, ended 20-6. At one point, though, they were 4-4, so it was a pretty level start to this game. But by the end of the first period, the ice was severely tilted toward the Latvian zone.
On those 4 shots early, it was the power play for Latvia right out of the gate. They got that early power play opportunity and had a chance to go up 1-0. A couple of excellent opportunities they weren't able to cash in on. And then on their second power play, I thought had some set plays, executed them well, just not quite enough there to finish. But most of their offensive opportunities, shots aside, were on their 2 power plays. And they got to get back to work and try and create something 5-on-5. And Super Dave Reed talked about how good their defensive structure is, how well they play defensively on the Swedish side, but Latvia has to do something to get through that. I'd start by directing more pucks at the net too, Victor. You're looking for the perfect shot. You know, when you don't score a lot, you're thinking you have to make a perfect shot instead of just throwing something in the net, getting a bounce potentially, getting a rebound, go retrieving it. Even from bad angles, test this goalie out a little bit more.
Starts out in Latvia's end as it's sent down the ice. Theo Lindstein wins the race to it, so an early icing against Team Latvia.
Tycho looking for that stretch pass. Might have been a little more effective to use an indirect. They tried the straight out stretch, but good looking young player. The late birth dates are not eligible for this draft. We've spoken about it a couple of times, but noticeable by length, 6'4" out there.
Our side, Wilander up to the line. Unger Sorum looking to pass it around for Stenberg. Another shot from Sorum, and that one's chipped wide. And this catches a piece of somebody on the bench, so another whistle is blown 33 seconds into the start of the second.
Important that Latvia continues to play well defensively, though. You can't let that part get out of hand. You have to feel pretty good about containing the prolific offensive Swedish team that's averaged almost 5 goals a game, holding them to 2 through the first period, 1 late one.
Loose puck at center. Swept into the backhand by Bulins. Wilander drops it back. And up the center ice it comes. Sent in the rest of the way. Waiting for it is Shinskis. picked up by Dover-Nilsson. Here's Noah Dover-Nilsson. Takes the shot. That's blocked. Never got through. Shudski's in the way. And around the boards, racing after it is Axel Landin. We won't get to it, though. This will be icing first.
No, that's a very generous icing call, I think. He follows the trail of the puck rather than cutting it off, which he could have clearly done. Landon follows the trail of the puck, swings out a little bit, and deceives the referee into gifting him an icing call. So we'll see if anything happens offensively for the Swedes off a call they coerce the linesman into with some nice deception.
Sending Pelika through the middle for Noel Nord. He's stick checked. Lindstein. Around the boards past Simon Zether. Picked up off the boards. Pushed to center by Latvia. Turning around is Gustav Kangas. And Noel Nord over the line. Chips it over to Lindstein. And he fires the shot off the mark. Sandin Pelika off of the wing. Zether for Sandin Pelika. Off the boards. Sandin Pelika back down low. Off the boards, Noel Nord drags it through, takes the shot. Ozils makes the save, and the puck is slammed off the boards and out down the ice.
Sandin Pelika clapping his stick on the ice, looking for that one. But another thing I like about his game is he doesn't force the play. If he doesn't have a play, he's more than willing to make a simple play. And sometimes with a highly offensive defenseman, they tend to force more. He is not of that ilk.
Chipped in, past Ozils, and Sandin Pelika, or rather, check that. That's Axel Hertig with the shot. Lobbed it wide. Back out to center ice. It's pulled back by Tom Wielander. With Axel Hertig, both members of the Rogla under-20 junior squad. And a shot up high from Otto Stenberg is caught for the whistle by Ozils.
Rogla, of course, the Swedish team that I toiled for a year.
You're a legend over there.
When they were Division 1, before they made the move to the Swedish League, I was a Rogla Bandy Club member. On my way between University of Notre Dame and the NHL and the Philadelphia Flyers, at a nice one-year stop in Ängelholm, Sweden.
There's Strassen's in the box.
Shaking his head. How shocking that a player in the penalty box would be shaking his head. Some animated conversation from Oleg Sorokins on that last break, exhorting his team to do more. First penalty of the game. First power play for Sweden.
Unger Sorum works it around the boards. In the tournament, Sweden 7 for 18 on the man advantage, 38.89%. And they add to that with a shot off the wing. Otto Stenberg, power play goal. And the lead is 3-0 for Sweden.
And the 10th point for the captain, Otto Stenberg, from the half boards. Quick shot. 4th goal of the tournament. 10th point to lead the Swedish team in scoring. It's a simple little setup on the half boards. As the puck comes across, it's a quick catch and release. Good screen in front by Big Lidstrom. Watch number 15 move across in front of the goaltender. Great traffic, no chance at all. Ozil still has not seen that puck. All he can see right now is number 15. Getting the glare off the back of that Swedish jersey.
So Otto Stenberg has points in 4 of 5 games in this tournament. Started off in a big way with 2 goals, 2 assists in that 8-0 crushing of Canada. Shot for the point redirected. Ozils makes that save. Wielander and Unger Sorum both draw the assists for the Swedes. Pass back. Sandin Pelika, he had 5 points in that game against Canada. 1 goal, 4 assists. That was his second 5-point game of the season, all levels considered. Back to the line, Sandin Palika over for Lindstein. One of two returning players for Team Sweden, was part of the under-18 gold medal winning team a year ago with Otto Stenberg. Leo Carlsson was also part of that team as this puck is iced, but he is not with the under-18 team this year. Leo Carlsson, the highest ranked Swedish player ahead of the 2024 draft, part of the World Juniors, and had a deep playoff run in the top Swedish league with Örebro.
Little look at Wilander coming across to Stenberg, and disappointment in that penalty box. Strazdins drops his head in shame. Nice look by Otto Stenberg. Sees the screen in front. As soon as he sees Edstrom move across in front of the goaltender, that's when he chooses to shoot. So goalie doesn't see the puck leave the stick and has no idea where it's going.
Looks like he needed a therapy session with the other timekeeper in the other box.
He did. He doesn't get the friendly timekeeper. He gets the grouchy one, tells him to get back on the ice after the goal.
Axel Herdig ships it across. Tom Wilander in on the wing. Sends it right back to the near side. Strike is looking for it. Take it away. Back it comes Hertig. Moves it over. Wielander's shot snapped right into the outstretched glove of Ozils for the whistle.
Latvia doing a good job of packing it around their net, defending Ozils as best they can. No second chance opportunities, trying to create open lanes. They weren't able to do that in the penalty kill situation, hence the third goal. And Oleg Sorokin knows that he's got a task ahead of him with this squad, but continues to coach. Anders Eriksson much calmer behind the Swedish bench.
Anders Eriksson has seen a thing or two with the Swedish national junior teams going all the way back to 2006. Also a junior coach in Modo. He was Toby Enstrom's coach when he was a young defenseman for Modo. Went on to have a long NHL career in Atlanta and Winnipeg.
What a fun player to watch, particularly when he's paired with Dustin Byfuglien. Seemed like such
two very opposite
contradiction of everything, wasn't it? Contradiction of everything.
Opposites attract, and apparently make great defensive pairings too. And delayed high stick here as Sweden touch it, and that'll bring out the stoppage.
Joby probably went through a phase where he just said to Big Buff, you just stay in front of the net and I'll go to both corners. Elite skating Toby Enstrom. Martin Dahlin and Johan Rosen, the two assistant coaches for Anders Eriksson. A little hockey lineage there as well.
Well, Martin Dahlin is the head coach as well for the Frölunda under-20 team.
And the father of a pretty good player who plays for the Buffalo Sabres.
And came through the Frölunda development system, Rasmus. This is zipped across for Felix Unger-Sorum. Back to the point. Sandin Palika, high shot. Blockered up over the glass and out of play. Power play marker for the Swedes. They're up by 3.
When it comes to your lawn, it's time to call the experts. With ecology-friendly lawn care from Nutrilon. We nourish your lawn, get rid of your weeds, and stop insects such as chinch bugs and grubs from tearing up your yard. You'll enjoy a lush, weed, and pest-free lawn all summer long with Nutrilon. Nutrilon has been nourishing the lawns and lives of Canadians for over 35 years. Call the experts today. Call 1-888-NUTRILON or visit Nutrilon.com.
Join the fans of Canada's game across the country and around the world and be a Hockey Canada insider. Receive news and features about Team Canada, events, promotions, and much more. Sign up at hockeycanada.ca/insider.
Admit it, you use my Old Spice body wash.
I'm not letting hotel soap near my skin. They get that.
Savannah, if you don't get your moisturized hands off my body wash.
A very animated Oleg Sorokins behind the Latvian bench during this last timeout.
Right down at eye level. Don't have them look up. You get right down there with them. He was right down in the middle of them. doing a little cheerleading, which you have to do it sometimes, particularly when you're the underdog against a powerhouse team. It's off to a good start in the game, and Latvia holding their own. They've given up the one power play goal on their one-time shorthanded, but they've done a decent job of staying out of the box. It's not able to capitalize on their two power play opportunities.
Over Sorum to the net. That's redirected by Edstrom, looking for another, and Ozil squeezes the pads.
Edstrom understands that you can make a living hanging around the net, particularly when you've got a stick that long and a reach that long. Watch the stick come out 6-3. Goalie took a little peek behind him. Edstrom pretended to knock in the fictitious puck, which wasn't really there.
Locked up off the face-off. Edstrom stays out there. Wrapped around the boards. Hans Mott stripped to the puck. Here's Stenberg. Out the middle for Sorum. And just out of his reach. Lindstein can't hold the line. Eric Spataiko scrambles into the Swedish end. Pushed to the boards by Sandin Pellikka.
That's a nice effort by Mataiko to stay with that puck and essentially beat three Swedish defenders for it.
Bounced off the boards and right to Peteris Bulins. Tries to wrap it around. Bulins, the defenseman, chipping it offensively, but Erlund in the save, and he'll freeze it.
Smooth skating by Bulins. Tonight's one of the better opportunities they've had offensively. 5-on-5. Tries on the hard wrap. Nice job right from his defensive zone. Picks up the puck down the wall, coming up around, and watch the hard wrap as soon as he senses that he's got Sandin Pellikka beat. The hard wrap, and this almost goes through the 5-hole. Erlund able to get over, and most importantly, get those pads together. You can picture on the push, there's a split second when those pads have to be apart.
Shot from the line, and glove down by Erlund, and he'll get a quick stoppage.
Important that Sweden keep their focus as well. No need to take a penalty here. Talked about the best offensive opportunities coming for Latvia on their power plays, two of which they've had. But for Sweden, this is all about tuning it up in details. They feel like they've got an excellent opportunity to move on to the medal round. And they've got to stay focused here.
Latvians in the quarters for the second year in a row. They lost big 13-3 to Team USA last year. But for them, the big win is not having to play for relegation. Get into the quarters and give yourselves a chance at a single-game elimination upset. You win in the quarters, and you're guaranteed at least a shot at a medal.
And a shot at a medal twice, if you will.
Latvia have never been past the quarters in this tournament. Number of years they were up and down from Division 1A to the top flight, but they've been in this top division now since 2019.
Working youth into the program as well, Victor. You have 6 2006 birth dates and 2 late birth dates, so essentially 8 players that won't be eligible for the draft.
And players that will be eligible for this tournament again next year.
And that's how you grow it. Get the experience. Talked about their different places that some of their players are playing in the Swedish League and the Quebec Major Junior League. Player playing in Lugano with the young team there.
Valdis Domers plays in Germany with Schwenningen.
Yeah, it's about getting experience, growing their program.
This is passed across by Bergstrom, shot incoming. Ozils makes the save. A lot of these players are centralized, though. They play in Riga at the Riga Hockey School. Plays in the top flight of Latvian Pro League. In transition, and Erlund slides over to make a save. It's going to be a penalty here on the play. It'll come against Team Sweden. They'll touch. Big hit in the corner, and we'll get the call.
That is a good, hard hit by Strikis. He knows there's a power play coming here. And he takes liberties and gets a good lick into the corner.
where we see the penalty on the far side. Tether comes across, but watch the way there's the penalty right there on the goal-scoring opportunity. The big hit comes on the other side, though. Strikers just comes in. Knows the whistle's going to blow and takes the opportunity for a big hit. Latvia with the offensive zone penalty, or face-off rather, on the power play.
Lipsic in to take it.
Cages very well, do they? You go through the cage, you go up under it, like that's a hard
Did they not
play.
get him one of the squirt bottles in this?
That's a hard play.
So a 5-on-3 for Latvia. A chance to get back into the mix. Here's the shot. That one caught the iron. And Karen's out of play from Christers Ansons.
Anson sees that opportunity and walks in. Maybe seems a little premature to shoot that quickly in a 5-on-3, but if you've got the opportunity, pound it. He does, and he pounds it off iron. Sometimes you'll try and be too cute and too perfect in the 5-on-3.
Bullens gets the pass back. He fires a shot. That's blocked. Krumens back to the line for Ansons. Ansons plays it across. Bullens, sharp angle, lifts it, scores! David Lipsic, sharp angle, no problem. 5-on-3 goal for Latvia, and they're down by 2.
The big smiles on that Latvian bench. We talked about their power play being very effective, but not cashing in. Well, they did that time. It's a little give and go with Lipsic, back and forth. And the second time it comes back, you can see the positioning of Erlingen turns sideways. It's a hard way to get all the way around for those goaltenders. They're playing off the post. They move them back and forth, and that's the key. By going from Lipsic back to the middle to Bullens and back across. I've been impressed with Bullens all night. Good puck-moving defenseman. Erlingen not happy. He's used to getting shutouts in this tournament. He's had 2 of them. And still time left on this power play. Why not 2?
Lipsic has his first of the tournament. He scored 27 goals in the regular season for his club team. HK Kurbas that play in the top Estonian league. Tied for first in Estonian league goals this year.
Those are good numbers in any league, particularly for a young player.
So Latvia stay on the 5-on-4, at least momentarily. There's Bullens. See what that goal does in terms of potentially swinging the momentum of this game through the second period.
be a foot race. Avoid an icing. Stay in the play for Latvia.
Stenberg knocked off balance. Lindstein can't get the shot. Here goes Latvia transition. 3-on-1. Mejins passes across, and there's no clean shot. Aldis Dormers couldn't get it through. And the opportunity goes by the wayside for Latvia.
Oh, Krumans had snuck through the middle. I like that puck going to the net and giving him a shot at the rebound. Instead, they tried for the lateral pass and unable to pull the trigger.
Mazins tries to knock it down. It goes all the way to the near side boards where it's swung down low by Martin Schlogs. And Theo Lindstein plays it up. From center, wristed in by Hugo Pettersson. Laid out by Ozils.
Certainly a little more zip in the step on the Latvian side after that big power play goal.
Onside as Bataiko crosses the line. Looking behind the net, Axel Sandin, or rather, Landin is there. Not to be confused with Rasmus Sandin. As it's carried in over the line. Played out in front of a big save by Ozils. He takes it away from Zepp Forstfjall. His second grade A opportunity of the contest.
That could be Ozil's biggest stop at the biggest time in the game. 2-goal game late in this second period. They gave up one late in the first period. That's a big stop by Ozils.
Sweden back on the attack, and another look this time from Noah Dover-Nilsson, but it's redirected high, out of play. Latvia on the power play, and Sweden's lead is down to 2.
Hockey fans, get your Hockey Canada gear at shop.hockeycanada.ca, the official online store of Hockey Canada, and the largest selection of Hockey Canada gear anywhere. Get jerseys, men's and women's tees, hoodies, headwear, and more. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. Shop.hockeycanada.ca, a Fanatics experience.
The Yukon has so much to see and do. You can stay in comfy cabins, see can-can dancing, and paddle rivers through our 14 First Nations. And of course, there's always time to search for gold.
After thousands of sleeps and hundreds of bedtime stories, your bed has done so much for you. But it's time to make a switch at the Time to Switch event. Plus, get a Bloom mattress starting at only $3.99.
Latvia to go a man short here, and they were getting a real push there. A high stick on Sezlis coming across on that offensive opportunity. Here's the 3-on-1. I want this puck to go to the net right there. Look at that shooting angle. Instead, you're going across the flow to a left-hander. That's not a one-timer. And then Ozils comes up big at the other end of the ice. Little 2-on-1 pass across, and Forstfjall picking that one off.
So Latvia able to grab some momentum on the power play. Now we'll see if Sweden can do just the same. As Latvia's get a quick clear down for Erliden, who steers it to the corner.
A perfect 1-for-1, and their skill level has been high this whole tournament on the power play.
Sweden 1-for-1 on the power play with one shot, make it 2 shots now as Ozil snags this.
That'll put them over 40% on this in this tournament on the power play, and you're clipping along at those numbers.
Black is
I like Sorokin's getting down to eye level. Likes to chat with his guys. Comes down to them on that bench. It's like he's doing squats there. I think he spent some time in the weight room though, like Sorokin. Yeah, I think that would be a fair assessment.
Nylander to the far side.
Nice aggressive read on the half boards. They know where the guy is over there. Wearing number 23.
Nylander. Brenner Sorum. Fires the shot high. Nylander. Along the boards for Stenberg. Played out in front, slipped over to the near side, and Ozils gets over to seal it off.
Nice job on a push from left to right for Ozils.
Here's Nylander, carries it wide. Shot from Wahlberg. Didn't get through clean. Looking back to the line for Stenberg. It's cut off and deposited down the ice.
Successful clear, and Sweden's got to be careful late in this period. This momentum that Latvia's going to carry from this potential penalty kill with only 20 seconds left.
From the blue line. Right in. First fall scores. 4:06 to go in the first. Sweden on the power play again. Noah Dover-Nilsson, and the lead's back to 3.
You could just sense that happening. Latvia almost out of the kill. Sweden getting back on their heels, and Dover-Nilsson able to tuck it in. Failure to clear this puck out. It's kept in at the blue line. Right there. Linesman kind of in the way, and the caginess of Sandin Pellikka keeping it in. The point shot coming across from Forsfjall. And the tuck-in right at net side. Dover-Nilsson, that's a huge goal for Sweden to take into that second intermission. Puck is going wide. That's a shot pass right there. Dover-Nilsson, perfect position. Stick blade angled. I'm not sure Sorokin's isn't talking about the position of that linesman. Not going to be effective. That's a tough play. Latvia looks like it has the puck cleared there. 4 minutes to go in this period. Right in the confusion, that may have been whether the puck came out when it hit the linesman right along the boards. That may have been a question that Sorokin was asking for some relief on to look at that, but we move forward, 4-1 Sweden.
So 4 minutes to go in the second. Noah Dover-Nilsson's got his second. The younger brother of Liam Dover-Nilsson, fifth-round pick to the Wings in 2021, former under-18 Swedish captain. He's got the power play goal for Sweden.
From our earliest days here at the Hockey Hall of Fame, we've wanted to be a place where hockey fans could come and really experience the game. Some would say we were interactive before interactive was interactive. And did we make some mistakes? Maybe a couple. But we think we've really nailed it this time. Shoot it, save it, call it. Only at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
With the PetSmart Treats loyalty program, it's easy to shop, earn every day, and redeem with the PetSmart app. Earn points with every purchase and earn bonus points by activating special offers. Download the PetSmart app to start earning now. PetSmart.
Internet without malicious websites. Without malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
Tight little hold along the boards enables Sweden to take that power play goal
and go up 4-1. Smart play coming in. Sandin Pellikka, after keeping it in right in the feet of the linesman, he walks in, slides it across. There's a little confusion we talked about the blue line. Watch the linesman right here. Where's the puck? It did stay in. Actually, it looked like Sandin Pellikka was hiding behind the linesman, playing a little hide and seek, if you will, at the blue line, but effective in keeping it in. Starting the play that leads to a critical goal for Sweden late in this second period, 2 for 2 in the power play.
So Oleg Sorokin's continue to have a dialogue with the officials during that last break. As Noel Nord tries to play it over the line, he's offside.
Dover-Nilsson with a goal and an assist. Good power play positioning there. I'm not sure when he's pointing at his head if he's talking to one of his players or talking to the referee.
Moment of instruction here for Marcus Strikis.
I'm not arguing with him. I've decided that already.
Received news, by the way, that Krister Janssons has left the game for Latvia. No word on whether or not he will return. That's clearly lost for them. As the shot off the wing is handled by Ozils.
The big Anson's a 2006 birthday. One of the top skaters in this tournament so far for Latvia.
It's Stolberg. Escorted away.
Sweden wants to stay totally clear of anything that promotes that after the whistle play. They want to just propel themselves into the medal round healthy and hale.
Unger Soran directs it back. Sending Pelika across ice for Theo Lindstein. Bouncing back to the front. Back over to the near side, Lindstein for Sandy Pelika. And over for Stenberg. Cross off the glass.
So ridiculous, a strong stick by Lindstein rather, on the defensive side of things. Stick over stick, and the Latvian player, the big strong kid himself, Mataiko, unable to free his stick up.
Lindstein, 32 games in the top Swedish League with Brynäs this year. Rough year for them. They just got relegated. And Lindstein very accustomed to playing against big, strong players all year long in that league. Tom's Motts blocks the shot. Lindstein in that relegation series, best of 7, lost in Game 5 to Malmo, who had Anton Wahlberg on that team, who is now on this team at the under-18. So perhaps some interesting dialogue between those two, Lindstein and Wahlberg, in the dressing room.
Well, the Malmo Redhawks were the big rivals when I was in Rogla.
Still are.
Yes, they are. Both playing in the elite league now rather than the Division 1, but what a rivalry back then for us. We were a much smaller town in Ängelholm. They were the big dogs in Malmo.
So Malmo stay alive in the top Swedish league. Still to be determined who moves up. In the Swedish second division, HockeyAllsvenskan, it's currently a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 tomorrow between Djurgården, who were relegated last year, and Modo, who have long since been relegated, but one of the more legendary programs in the Swedish league, having produced the likes of the Sedin twins, Peter Forsberg, and Marcus Naslund, among others.
And Djurgården, one of the most established teams out of Stockholm. I mean, that's a long time. Those are 2 long-time Elite Series programs, so no surprise. Maybe the biggest surprise is only one of them is coming back this year.
Now, Djurgården is Matt Sundin's old team. So right now in the top Swedish league, there are no teams from Stockholm.
IK was always a staple in the Elite Series. Djurgården, obviously.
So Sweden's capital.
Hard to believe.
Biggest city population-wise, they don't have a team in the top Swedish Hockey League right now.
At their peak, they would have had 3, correct?
Believe so. Well, for sure, IK and Djurgården for a long time in the SHL. Noel Nord along the end boards, plays it back to the line. Shot from Sandin Pelika got through, and shutting the door is Ozils. Around for Lindstein, chops it up into the air. Comes down in the corner, and the second period comes to an end. Couple power play goals on either side. Latvia cash in 5-on-3, but it is Sweden continuing to lead by 3. Up 4-1 after 2 periods of play. They are 1 period away from moving on to be the 4th team into the semis.
Welcome to Casper. This is where dreams begin. Here, a cozy night's sleep is crafted piece by piece, helping you relieve the day's pressures, fall asleep with ease, and stay comfortably cool all night. Awaken the potential of your well-rested self. Casper.
Roll sound. What did you find when you lost the weight?
I found my smile.
I found I can do this.
I found I can eat pizza with my kids again. Jenny just makes it simple. Simple.
What will you find when you lose the weights? Click or call to learn how to get a free week of food with purchase. Jenny Craig, lose the weight. Find yourself.
For this Intact insurance ad, we could have shown a happy couple driving. You wouldn't really know where they're going, but wherever it is, you know they're with Intact. So life's pretty perfect. But nothing's perfect. And that's where we come in. Just activate Crash Assist on your Intact insurance app. It automatically detects collisions and can send help. When things aren't perfect, we make it better. Just make it Intact.
I didn't use Old Spice. I think I smell.
You thought no one could tell?
Rest is all day, swagger all night.
Long-lasting Old Spice keeps that stank out of sight.
I got this mountain bike for only $11.
DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. This KitchenAid mixer sold for less than $26. This iPad sold for less than $43. And this PlayStation 5 sold for less than $1.
I won these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
It's time for Mother's Day specials at People's. Show her how much she means to you. Live for love with People's Jewelers.
There have been Joes, Johns, Jalen's, and more Johns. Patricks and Peytons, Deons and DKs. There have been JJs, TJs, A, B, and CJs. There have been 80 years of drafts.
I'm told the pick is in.
Thousands of names called.
Jerry Rice.
Eli Manning. Sauce Gardner.
But there's nothing like hearing yours.
A spectacular moment for this young man.
The NFL Draft on TSN.
We'll get a peek at the next generation of stars tonight. Yes, it is the NFL Draft. Who will go number 1? Well, you'll have to tune in at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific here on TSN. That is when our coverage gets underway. Always must-see TV when it comes to that NFL Draft. Meanwhile, quarterfinal Thursday is starting to wind down. Sweden inching closer and closer to semifinal Saturday. Up 3 on Latvia. 2 periods in the books now in our final quarterfinal game of the day. Dave and Laura back with you inside the TSN studio. So the first period was all about the Swedes showing you that, yes, they can score 5-on-5. The second period was all about special teams. And for Sweden, one of the top power plays in this tournament, trailing just the U.S. and Canada coming into play today. They just needed one opportunity to get their first power play goal of this game.
And it didn't take Otto Stenberg long to get on the score sheet. The leader offensively for Sweden, he's a dynamic player. He's going to be a high draft pick in the upcoming draft. He's got a great shot, and he sets up for the one-timer. They love trying to feed him, whether it's a one-timer or a quick wrist shot such as this one. Doesn't really waste any time. He has one quick look, just a little bit of a shot pass. He kind of looks up, where am I going to go? And he sees his screen, great screen in front by David Edstrom standing in front. You can't see by him. And the far side is picked. The second one is a real nice play to keep the puck in at the blue line by Sandin Pelican. Forsfall finds Dover Nilsson. And this is kind of the old Malkin Crosby, the way Crosby would set up at the side of the net, put the skate there in the stick, and just block an area and say, you pass it to this area, I'm going to bang it in. Sweden not making any mistakes on their power play. Their 5-on-5 play wasn't as good, I thought, as it was in the first period. It didn't really generate too many scoring chances, but they were able to draw enough penalties to get their power play going once again.
Something we touched on in that first intermission in Latvia, and its play on the power play hasn't scored a ton of goals in this period, or in this tournament, excuse me, but in that first they had a couple opportunities, weren't able to convert, but they needed this one. Kind of kept them in it there for a little bit.
It did. It got the confidence going, and the power play in the first period got their confidence going. They just weren't able to score any goals. In the 5-on-3, is really nothing to the setup. You think sometimes a 5-on-3, you might put a guy in the high bumper spot. You might try to do a lateral pass through the seam. Not at all. There's one pass through the seam, but then it's moved around the outside, and it's a quick, low shot. David Lipsix puts a bullet of a shot in because there's really no room. Noah Erliden takes away everything you can see on the short side. I'm not really sure if this actually bounces off Erliden or finds its way in. Now, you can see that as the camera moves across, Erliden's already in position. He's been fantastic throughout the tournament. But that gave Latvia a little bit of life, and that's exactly what Latvia needed. Unfortunately, they ran into some more penalty trouble and gave up another power play goal. But, I mean, this game, coming into it, we knew that Sweden was going to be the dominant team. We expected Latvia to have a little bit of a push, and we'll see if they can continue in the third period.
For Sweden, just the fourth goal that they've allowed at this tournament. The previous three all came against Slovakia. So yeah, Latvia the second team to beat them at this tournament. And while those two teams fight it out for a spot in Saturday's semifinal, the three other ones haven't accounted for. Highlights next.
Dad, we got this.
We got this.
Come check out town, okay?
We got this. We got this.
Life is for living.
We got this.
Let's partner for all of it. Edward Jones.
Tim Hortons is great if I want something quick and tasty.
On the go? Go for Tim's new savory pastries. They're freshly baked throughout the day, flaky, creamy, and served warm.
This could be my new favorite snack.
Available in herb and garlic and jalapeno. Now served warm.
This little light of mine.
Use his skating ability, the quickness and the speed to get into the open ice and to get those opportunities. He thinks the game well. He competes hard. He's not anywhere near his physical maturity, but that's something that's going to evolve and going to develop over time. And when it does, no question in my mind that he can be a real significant offensive player, a really good, solid, what you call a second-line winger in the National Hockey League. Exactly what Riley Smith is for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Quarterfinal Thursday. It has been a busy one, and it was the U.S. and Czechia kicking things off early this morning. We're in the third. Just a one-goal game, but the U.S. would break through in the final minutes of regulation, scoring 2 goals just 56 seconds apart. Danny Nelson, and Will Vogt doing the honors as the U.S. on to the semifinals. Dying seconds of the third is where we're going to pick this one up between Finland and Slovakia. Slovakia up 2 goals, but Finland with a little bit of light. Emil Järventie makes it a 1-goal game with just 10.4 seconds on the clock. They would drop the puck on the ensuing face-off, and Finland wouldn't get any closer than that as the Slovaks hang on, survive the late push from the Finns, and advance to the semifinals for the first time in 20 years. You bet they're celebrating. And how about Canada and the hosts from Switzerland? Quarterfinal number 3, Canada up a goal, nearly going to the second. And after a close first period, Canada would break through in the second.
That was terrific.
Macklin Celebrini to Matthew Wood there, and then 2 minutes after that, Andrew Crystal. Difficult angle, not for him, as Crystal finally getting that monkey off his back. He's got his first of the tournament. He had 2 in the game, as it's now 4-1 Canada. And how about the goaltending of Carson Bjarnason on point, just moments after that 4-1 goal. Matteo Wagner denied by Bjarnason, who made 28 saves in the win, as Canada avenging last year's loss in the quarterfinals through to Saturday's semifinals. So again, it was Norway beating Germany in the first of 3 games in the relegation series earlier today as well. So now you're totally up to date. Let's hear now from Andrew Crystal. Finally got his first goal of this tournament for Team Canada. Here he is with Brian Mudryk.
Andrew, offense came alive in a massive win over Switzerland. What was your assessment of that game and that win for Team Canada?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to, get some goals there and, put up 7 on the board. But, we didn't think it's our best. We didn't play a full 60 minutes. We, credit to the Swiss, they played well, but we didn't play our best. So we're looking to, capitalize and be better in the semifinals.
I know you're a proud guy, letter on your chest for this tournament. How does it feel to break through and score a pair here?
Yeah, it feels nice. I think I've been, a little bit snake bitten over the tournament. So, to get the first one fall in and, hit the back of the net, it feels pretty good.
How much has this team grown since that first game versus Sweden to now a big win here in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I think we've gotten better day by day. That's kind of what our, team motive was, each day, get 1% better. So I think from the first game to, the quarterfinals here, we've progressed a long way.
How much has Carson Bjarnason provided confidence for your team?
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. He's such a rock and a brick wall back there. We're always confident whenever they get a scoring chance that he's going to stop it. So he just gives, the lineup up front a huge boost whenever he's back there.
A lights out performance, literally. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian took the words right out of it. Sweden with the 4-1 lead in this, our final quarterfinal of the day. The third period is up next.
After thousands of sleeps and hundreds of bedtime stories, your bed has done so much for you. But it's time to make a switch at the Time to Switch event. Plus, get a Bloom mattress starting at only $3.99.
I'm Francesco Mutti, and nobody loves tomatoes as much as I do.
So you can enjoy the freshness and taste of Mutti tomatoes. Mutti, one family, one passion. Tomatoes.
Boston Pizza harnessed Betalytics to test if the playoffs are better at home or at Boston Pizza. The results are irrefutable. The playoffs at Boston Pizza, powered by Betalytics.
The latest chapter in the history of women's sports, the debut of the WNBA.
The first ever WNBA All-Star game.
Absolutely. There's number 1,000 in her WNBA career.
Starting today, all Canada Post ground services are carbon neutral. Over 200 million packages a year traveling lighter upon the earth. And that's just the start. We're delivering more for the greener good.
3 goals coming in that second period, all of them on the power play. And again, Sweden dominating when it comes to shots, 39-11 overall. One more period stands in the way between Sweden and those semifinals. So let's get you back to Victor and Dave and that third period.
So down to our final period of quarterfinal action today, and if things hold, it'll be Sweden on to the semis, where they would meet Canada for a rematch of the opening group stage game, where the Swedes blew them out 8-0. So that'll be semifinal number 2 if Sweden maintain this lead, and then it would be USA-Slovakia, who should not be taken lightly after their 3-2 victory over Finland today.
They certainly won't. They're a force to be reckoned with, and maybe your worst nightmare when you handle a team as smoothly and easily as Sweden did in that first game of the tournament, the 8-0 win over Canada, to have to see them again in the medal round, and Canada, every reason to be all fired up for that one. So if you are going to lose a game, lose it in the first single game of this tournament, and then find a way to get better each game, and that's what Canada's done. So this will be an important period for Sweden just to fine-tune. Keep it simple. Don't make mistakes. They have enough goals to win.
There's a shot from Sandy Pellica to start us off for period number 3.
Interesting face-off play where you spring the defenseman, so you win the draw, and then the elite skating skills of Sandine Pellica let you spring the defenseman on a potential breakaway. It's a pretty cool face-off play.
Puck comes around the boards for Sandine Pellica. Pass is low behind the net. Brought up the wing. Sorum high in the slot. At the side, they score! Otto Stenberg, second of the contest. And Sweden pull ahead 5-1.
Elite scoring, Otto Stenberg. This is his 5th goal of the tournament. Delayed penalty in force, and down low, the 3rd Swedish goal, right down low in that same vicinity. You see the strength of Otto Stenberg. There's the delayed call right there behind the net. But the puck continues up to the top, and a smart move to get it to the net. And Stenberg sneaking out from his horizontal position. There's his horizontal position behind the net. Seconds later, he's sneaking out, maybe a forgotten man, off the weak side of the net as he slides out and just tucks it in. The captain knows where to go and he knows how to finish.
Had 2 goals at last year's under-18s, where Sweden brought home gold for the 2nd time.
Exactly what you want to do with a 4-1 lead. Just eliminate any thought that Latvia is coming back in this game. Right out of the gate, which Sweden was able to do.
Tom Wielander shot through traffic, and Ozils tracks that.
Smart play coming up to the top. Sorum just gets the puck to the net, and as it slides by, literally right onto the tape. Watch Stenberg. It's like it's a pass right onto his tape. My first thought, I thought it was a rebound off of the goaltender, Ozils, but it simply was a shot that was missing the net, but because of the positioning of Stenberg right on his tape, he walks out and tucks.
In the side of the net, where is it? It's in the back of the net.
Pretty similar play, actually, and almost a goal going the other way for Latvia.
This is sent down the ice for icing by Team Sweden.
A little bit of a broken play coming out of the corner, but Andrew, excellent opportunity on the short side. Just hit that outside of the net to the right of Erliden. It's a good step up. Well, that's the icing play. It was a good step up and came back off the side of the net.
Strasdans going around the boards there for it. Played back along the end board. Strasdans runs right over his man. Valters Nidra's hunting for it. Pressure from Strikis as it's slammed off the boards and out. Into the Latvian zone. Out in front of the net, no shot. Taken ahead by Strikis to center. Escorts it toward the far side boards. And slips it back around.
Nice back check by Strikis all the way back. Maybe a little bit of an overpass on the Swedish side.
Thielenstein. Over the line. In comes Willie Johansson. Stad Matthias. 700 games with Färjestad over 17 seasons, but also a year with the Calgary Flames in 02-03. 2002 Olympics and 06 World Championship gold as well for Willie's father. Made his debut at Färjestad this year. That was a popular decision among the Färjestad supporters, given his dad's history there. As it's carried in, and Tom's Motts with a low shot that's turned aside.
Love the lineage of hockey families and sons that grew up watching their dads play and want to do the same thing that dad did.
And when you play 17 seasons with the same team, in the same league, you are an icon in that organization.
Yes, you are. Any occupation, it's always flattering when the son wants to follow the father and what his chosen occupation is. You have some pretty good father and son games in the game of hockey.
Saw back in our first game, Roman Kuchenberg Jr., his father Roman Kuchenberg Sr. still playing in the Slovak third division, or rather second division. They met each other on the ice 3 times this year.
Spectacular. Spectacular.
Back around the center.
I'm not sure that the NHL dads are proud of their own careers or their sons' careers. That would be a legitimate question. I, of course, had the opportunity to play with the great Mark Howe, the Hall of Famer. And the first time I met his dad, who you may have heard from, he actually walked over to me in the weight room. I was on the bike. I was a rookie in the NHL.
Here's a turnover. Shot coming. That's steepled wide of the net by Otto Stenberg, looking for the hat trick.
Oh, what a miss by Otto Stenberg.
Sweden stay with it. In the offensive zone, Edstrom runs it back to the line. Over for Sandin Pellikka. Wrist shot. Into the corner it goes.
Good sustained pressure by Sweden again.
Still with it. Another shot. This time for Wahlberg is blocked. Held in. Wahlberg out of his skates. Also a second-generation player. His dad, Mikhail, played 477 games with Malmo. Former captain. As Ozils absorbs this.
Otto Stenberg with a chance to get a hat trick. Walks in all alone. Skate over the puck and a failed clear, and Stenberg just misses him on the glove side. Oh, good stop, actually. Ozil's got his glove on it. But to finish that story, Gordie Howe, of course, walks into the weight room. I'm on the bike. He walks all the way across the room and he said, "Hi, Dave. I'm Gordie, Mark's dad." Which was a brilliant way for one of the greatest players to ever, that ever played the game, to introduce himself as Mark's dad. Yes, Mr. Howe, I know who you are. You had some fame yourself, but so proud of, obviously, of his son.
Have you ever been on the ice at the same time as Gordie?
No. I had a chance to get to know him during my time in Philadelphia because he was around a lot.
Mostly to see his grandkids. So I had a lot of nice, long conversations with him. Just a special guy, but I never had the pleasure to play against him.
Maybe it's for the better you weren't on the ice at the same time.
Like he could still partake in the weight room as well. Special player, special man.
Right up the center. Shunskis sends across ice. Noel Nord. Chopped off the boards, out to center. Settled down by Bergstrom. Passes across to the near side for Axel Landin.
Chance developing. Kangas passes across. Oh, what a pretty passing play. And Ozols hangs on. 13:37 to go in the third. Early strike, and Sweden are up 5-1.
Men, are you urinating more often? Are you waking at night to go? Most men will develop symptoms of BPH during their lives, and half of them will have more frequent urges to urinate. Reduce the symptoms of BPH with Super Beta Prostate. It's proven to help you reduce the extra bathroom trips, reduce getting up at night to urinate, and take back control. To reduce the symptoms of BPH, don't wait. Get Super Beta Prostate.
Chevrolet Silverado factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you? The 2023 Silverados NR2, LT Trail Boss, and Custom Trail Boss. Because adventure is everywhere.
Almost a perfect triangle passing play. Nord, the recipient of a great look here coming in. Puck slides across. Perfect pass back, but Ozils does a great job of reading that. The elite pass coming across from Zether. Actually catches it with his stick coming back across, does Ozils.
Stolberg off the boards. Looking for Sayedin. Anders Eriksson digging a little deeper into his lineup here.
And wise to do. Lots of hockey left to play over the weekend if they get where they want to go.
Be an off day tomorrow, and then we got the semis for you on Saturday. If it holds at 5-1, be Sweden, Canada, USA, Slovakia. You can catch both games on TSN4. USA, Slovakia will be a 9 a.m. Eastern start. Sweden, Canada would be 1 p.m. Eastern. Both in Basel, Switzerland. So this will be the last game at Raiffeisen Arena in Ajoie.
Brian Mudryk and Craig Button will have their fine call in those games. Laura Dykin and Dave Reed will have the panel covered.
Of course, we got relegation going on as well. Norway, 6-1 winners over Germany today. So
an upset.
Somewhat surprising given they scored only 3 goals in the entire group stage, including being shut out by both Switzerland and Latvia.
And that's where the confidence in a late goal, game, you say, well, it doesn't really mean anything. It means something to the individuals, and it can carry over to the next game in terms of individual confidence.
So it's a best-of-3 series for relegation. So Norway win the next game, and they stay alive in the top division. Where if Germany wins, that'll force a game 3. Is a nifty glove save here from Axis Ozils.
Excellent glove stave. That's on Stenberg as well. Stenberg going across the top of the circles. Left shot going across, coming back across the green. Edstrom, the big body in front. He was an effective screen, and that's a good stop by Ozils because you can see the body right there cross in front of Ozils. And Edstrom said, how did you even see that? He was the perfect screen on an earlier goal by the same shooter, Otto Stenberg.
Well, this tournament is still ongoing. So is the Division 1A of the U18 Worlds. That tournament will end on the 29th in a couple days. Their second last game day is today, and right now the standings are very interesting to see who goes up to this top division for next year. As of right now, it's a 3-way tie entering play today between Denmark, Kazakhstan, Japan, and Ukraine and Hungary are just a couple points back, both tied at 4th. Ukrainians have won a couple games in shootouts. But right now, we could potentially see Japan in the top division, which we've never seen before.
Wow.
They've got Hungary and Ukraine to close out their group stage, and it is only a group stage in Division 1A of this tournament. There's no single game elimination. You win the group, and you win promotion to the top division in 2024. Would be quite a story to see Team Japan in the top. Seen Denmark and Kazakhstan before. Of course, Ukraine would be quite a story as well.
France in there as well.
France in there as well. They have not had a good tournament. They are the tournament hosts, and they have yet to win a game. They've lost twice in regulation, once in overtime. And they would be relegated down to Division B1, which would be a real disaster for them. There are a number of divisions that go far down the ladder at the U18 Worlds. Of course, we're here covering the top division. There's a number of tournaments that go on throughout the year. See teams like the Philippines, Mexico, Brazil have a team.
All striving for the same thing, to get to where Latvia currently is.
The same goes for the World Juniors, number of divisions. The World Championships for men's and women's have a number of lower divisions. Teams will try and work their way up through those to get to the top. And for the teams that do, like Norway, who haven't been in this top division since 2011, it is a massive deal for them. Good battle in the corner here with Elliot Stolberg.
That's going to really sting for Germany.
Wasn't that long ago, they had Tim Stutzla, Lucas Reichel, JJ Paterka through the German junior national program. They've produced some great players.
Young man named Dreisaitl, a fair player himself. First name Leon. Timmy Stutzla's a budding superstar in this league, in the NHL.
This was the breakout year, wasn't it?
He was terrific. A move to center. He is a budding superstar. On a young Ottawa team that's on the rise.
Silver medalists from the Olympics in 2018. There's a program that feel like they've been rising up the ranks and trying to close the gap between them and some of the top nations for hockey in the world. Of course, Slovakia was relegated from this tournament in 2019. That was a big surprise. And if they ever come back in a big way into the semis, there's a shot here from the slot from David Edstrom is knocked down.
They are back with a force with a huge win today over Finland.
That was a great game, 3-2. It was a 3-0 lead at one point for the Slovaks.
And it wasn't, it should have been 3-0. It wasn't by mistake at all. They were dominant in that game.
Dalibor Dvorsky continuing to lead the way with another 3 points for them.
Star in the making, that young man. I like everything about his game.
Another young Slovak hockey star.
Yes. There are a few more on the rise. Latvia doing a good job of continuing the battle in this game. That late goal in the second period, Latvia had a couple of chances to make it 3-2, including on the power play, and just unable to make it happen. And then Sweden on a power play with a late tip in. Grover Nielsen, the fourth goal, it could be the biggest goal of this game. It may look inconsequential in the end, but that was a big goal. Latvia, if they'd have gone in down only 3-1, might have seen a different third period. Otto Stenberg made sure at the start of this period that the outcome of this game was no longer going to be a doubt.
Konstantin Pelika, pressured by Marks Mezins, and brought in over the line. Daryl Zielanski's pass is off. Hard shot from Domers. In and out of the glove of Erliden. Pass across the line was picked off by Noel Nord. Left side, shot up high on Ozils.
Ozils had to handle that. It was a tough one, right up off his pad. Right shoulder, just to the right of his mask.
Back through center. Lipsic pushed along the boards by Elliot Stolberg. And around it rolls for Bruno Petrovic. Back to the point. Petrovic, the shot. Pushed to the corner by Arlinen.
Petrovic back at the line. Skips another one to the net. This is deflected high into the netting, out of play. 6:34 to go in the third. 5-1 the lead for Sweden.
When it comes to your lawn, it's time to call the experts. With ecology-friendly lawn care from Nutrilon. We nourish your lawn, get rid of your weeds, and stop insects such as chinch bugs and grubs from tearing up your yard. You'll enjoy a lush, weed, and pest-free lawn all summer long with Nutrilon. Nutrilon has been nourishing the lawns and lives of Canadians for over 35 years. Call the experts today. Call 1-888-Nutrilon or visit Nutrilon.com.
Chevrolet Silverado factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you? The 2023 Silverado ZR2, LT Trail Boss, and Custom Trail Boss. Because adventure is everywhere.
We featured the captain, Otto Stenberg, in our opener, coming in with 3 goals and 6 assists. He's added to that total leading score in the Swedish team. This on the power play. Beautiful shot just inside the post, reading the screen perfectly. And the recipient of a shot wide, he'd been knocked down, delayed penalty, stepped up behind the goal line and tucked that in. That early in the third period to make it 5-1 and really extend this game to an uncomfortable place for the Latvians. An excellent effort by the captain in the leadership role, Otto Stenberg.
He's got his junior coach, Martin Dahlin, with the Finland Under-20 program on the bench for Sweden U18. Played a bunch of games too, 23 to be exact, with Finland under head coach Roger Ronberg. Scored a goal, 2 assists.
Just the experience of being on that team in that environment.
Learning from some of the very best to play in the Swedish League, namely Joel Lundqvist.
Joel Lundqvist, one of my favorite Champions League players. Boy, oh boy, he was so good in that Champions League, which I've enjoyed calling with you, Victor.
Now Ryan Lash as well, over the years, dominant player out of St. Cloud State in the NCAA.
Donnie Jackson's Red Bull team's always having something to say.
This year, Tappara from Tampere, Finland, taking Champions Hockey League gold.
Latvia with a couple of good opportunities late. A lot of their offense has come on the power play, but sneaky little pass inside almost pops free. And the player that started it, the entire Bujanski's, the entire play from the top, is the one that crashes in. 2-car collision just inside the crease. Erliden, the recipient of that big body flying in towards him.
Gomer's into the corner. Ripped around the boards by Bruno Petrovic.
Latvia's continued to play the right way, and I really like that. There's no cheating going on. They're just playing the right way. A lot of respect for that. In many ways, this is a solid effort for this team, for this program. Very well coached by Oleg Sorokins. I like the way they've represented in this tournament.
Sorokins has been head of this under-18 program since 2018. He won the Division 1A tournament to get up to this level with his country. And played a long time, from 1991 to 2017 as an active player.
That little play right there in the defensive zone is a great indication. Supporting each other, nobody cheating out of the zone. Make sure you've got the defensive side of things handled. Good control, flare it to the weak side, and break out. That is all good fundamental hockey.
Far side of the line, held in, at least momentarily, by Bergstrom. Swung in the rest away by Zeb Forsfjall. Behind the net, Noah Dover-Nilsson. On his backhand, cycles it around. Wahlberg is tied up. Here's Strikis to center. Ultramovitz And now Landin around the boards. Wahlberg passes over. Forsfjall gets it back. Can't do anything with it, though.
That line has been good all day. Forsfjall, Dover, Nielsen, and Wahlberg. Created some nice opportunities, a goal and a couple of assists as a line.
Bullens back to the line. Hoisted off the glass, centered, and right back into the slot. Bullens, the shot, and he missed glove side on Erliden.
Bullens has been around it nicely today as well.
Started his season with Acadie Bathurst in the QMJHL, and then was claimed off waivers after just 2 games by Chicoutimi, where he played the rest of the year. Just knocked out in the first round of the QMJHL playoffs by Rimouski. Came over and joined this Latvian under-18 squad for this tournament. Played well for him. Centering attempt, and this is poked just wide by Mott. Back it comes for Bullens. Looking for a lane, sharp deflection, and forces Erliden to make the save. And he covers up with 3:02 remaining in period number 3.
This is a keepsake frame. This is actually a photo from my wedding. I'm Adam Weiss, founder and CEO of Keepsake, the mobile app that makes it easy to have your photos printed, framed, and shipped to your doorstep. You just choose a photo that you love, you can preview it in over 100 frames, and in a couple of days, you're going to receive your photo in a beautiful, handmade frame. So if you've got a special photo on your phone, install the free Keepsake app. We would love a chance to frame it for you.
Hey Canada, Montana's is welcoming back Barbecue Tex-Mex, featuring our in-house smoked ribs. Get them with our new habanero lime wings, choice of 2 sides, and cornbread. And don't forget all-you-can-eat ribs every Wednesday. Montana's, the grill is calling.
Internet without trackers. Without malware-ridden files. Zen. Be more cyber zen. Get NordVPN.
Finally, a little frustration showing through for Latvia and a little scrum. And on the Swedish side, you don't want any part of this at all. But a little bit of a battle there. Strasdens is in tight. And, you know, there's a fine line. You want to stick up for each other. You want to protect each other. Zenther gets a shot into the back. And
just stay away from it. Game is almost over. It's been a well-played game, a well-officiated game. Less than 3 minutes left. Both teams have played hard and within the lines.
Latvian players continuing to fight for the team late into the 3rd period. And Sweden enjoying a comfortable 4-goal cushion. As Bullens to launch it out. Couple feet over the line, tied up along the far side boards. Krabaka is there with Mataiko. Dug loose by Noel Nord. He's bumped off the puck. Saw Nord get the goal scoring started in this game for Sweden with their first of the contest.
He had a great chance on a triangle three-way passing play late, too, that Ozil's met the challenge of. Would have been a very pretty goal. Nord unable to finish.
Johansson in from center, right on Ozils, who opts to keep it moving. Ulanski's pass never got through. Offside, says the official.
Just for Stallberg. Unable to keep it in, and Ozils thought about freezing that up and said, we will just keep this going now. A good shot of the coaching staff. Oleg Sorkins, Iris Ozils, Herbert Vasilevs. Done a very nice job in this tournament. They should be very proud. Competing at the top level.
And staying at the top level.
And staying at the top level. But competing in this hockey game, too. Various points to where they were within a goal. And it was a late goal and an early goal that really did the damage. Late goal in the 2nd period, early goal in the 3rd period. They took it from 3-1 to 5-1, but Latvia was competing throughout.
Anders Eriksson, the coach of the Swedish team. They'll be moving on to the semifinals, and they will meet Canada. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern. After a day off tomorrow, the semifinal Saturday, USA-Slovakia will be the early semi. That'll be 9 a.m. Eastern, both games on TSN 4. There's Martin Dahlin on the right side of Eriksson.
Johan Rosen on the other side. Little bopping going on at the heads there on the Swedish bench. They're allowed at this point. Arguably, they've played their last shift of the preliminary game that'll take them to the medal round. So you're allowed to dance a little bit at that point. Just a little bit, Victor. Can't be a big dance, but it can be a little one.
Shot is blocked by Noel Nord, and he's going to chase after it. He's got Zither with him. Passes across, rolling, and it's in. Simon Zither knocks down the puck. Into the back of the net it goes, and Sweden add another one for good measure. It's 6-1.
And that is even frustrating for Latvia. Have played so well through this third period. Zither knocks it down. Pass coming across from Nord, left to right. Nord starts the play by blocking the shot and coming up the ice and throws it across a little bit too hot. It gets deflected, but knocks it back and then out of the air. And Ozil says, for all the work I did today, wait a second. Watch it down and out of the air and into the net. Immediately Ozil looks to the referee, but we'll be able to see the hand here. And then Zither finishes it with his stick, so it did not go in directly off his hand, hence it's a good goal. Always enjoy a goal celebration out of respect. Doesn't have to over-demonstrate at this point in the game, but you're allowed to enjoy it.
Especially when it's your first of the tournament, which it is for Simon Zither. Had a great playoffs with the Rögle Junior 20 team. 6 goals in as many games. En route to a Swedish Junior League title. Final half minute of the quarters. Sweden working up the wing. Ulanskis plays it across. Open point. Played offside. Latvia cleared the zone. And it'll be skated around by Axel Sandin Palika. Stays with it.
Showing a good balance with a player draped over his back. Sandin Palika able to show the strength in that lower body and just basically carry the Latvian player while he got around the net and put himself in a better position.
And with that, the game is over. The conquest to make it back-to-back gold stays alive for Team Sweden. They outlast Latvia 6-1 today and have a date with Canada in the semis.
Noah Erliden, very impressive, only giving up one
Result.